Okay, I know he has Gang, so if I go Fire Spirit behind, this actually could mess him up big time. Oh, Fire Spirit went in front. Nope. Yep. Oh, and that Evil Witch is gonna die because he messed it up. Oh, that's gonna do so much damage, dude. Let's go. Nice. That was huge. Ooh, what is up, gamers? I'm gonna keep it a buck with you guys. Spam decks in Clash Royale are OP right now. And I'm not talking about bridge spam, I'm talking about super fast cycle, really cheap bait spam decks. And I'm sure you know what I'm talking about because they are really annoying. But the problem is they're also really good. So in today's video, we're gonna be playing one of the strongest spam decks and one of the quickest at a 2.4 elixir cycle. And I promise by the end of the video, you will be convinced to give this deck a try. And if that's not the case, then I failed you. But there are like 3 people inside the top 20 that are using this deck, so trust me, it's really good. So if you've never used a fast cycle deck, don't worry, that's why I'm here. So hop in the car, come along for the ride, and I will show you how to absolutely cook your opponents with this deck. Just like how all my channel members absolutely cook up their love for me. Thank you so much for your support. And to anyone else watching, thank you as well. Please consider subscribing to the channel because it helps me immensely. And that's all I got for you. Let's get into the gameplay. Alright, let's get it, dude. First match of the video, rocking, honestly, a spam deck. It's like bridge spam, but a cheap version of bridge spam. I don't know what you'd call it. It'd be like if bridge spam and bait had a baby, but this deck is really good. I think it can be hard for players a lot of times to deal with really cheap decks without overspending. Like, you can see here, like, he has a bomber, he has a mega minion, but in general, I'm guessing he's running giant double prince. He's gonna have to spend a lot to keep up with our pressure. Okay, never mind. It's probably E-Golem. That'll actually be tough when we don't have our Evo Dark Goblin in cycle. So he's probably just going to ignore this and go in with like an E-Golem or something. It's actually better for us that he defended. Oh, it's not what I thought it was, but that's okay. We're going to pull back our Boss Bandit here and try and keep her alive. And then she's going to actually do pretty good against this P.E.K.K.A. Like, not amazing, but we won't have to worry about defending the P.E.K.K.A. Okay, so it's not the deck that I thought it was. We should be able to run circles around any of these expensive decks. That's why this deck is so good. I mean, like, he just can't keep up. Like, cheap decks in Clash Royale are the new wave. They're so good. The outplay potential is there, and I don't care what he's running. It's just going to be really difficult for him to keep up. I'm going to do this in an attempt to bait out Elixir. For only 2 Elixir, if we bait out even an even trade, I'd be happy. And just like that, we got hella damage, and it was an even trade. And his push is just dead here because of the Evo Dark Goblin. It doesn't really matter what he plays afterwards because we have Evo Dark Goblin and the Boss Bandit. And those arrows were an overcommitment in my opinion because he has to defend both lanes here. So he basically has to decide, is he going to bomber or what is he going to do on defense? And he goes for a horrible Goblin Curse. And I knew it, dude. As soon as I saw his deck, I'm just like, it can't keep up with these hyperbait decks. Hyperbait is so deadly. So if you don't like beatdown, this is a really good variant for you. I'm going to play it out for the last 1 minute because I want to show that I can also defend, but I wouldn't be surprised if my opponent just gives up. I think he actually is just going to throw in the towel, so easy first match there. That's what these decks can do. I'm looking forward to playing it for the rest of the video, so we're going to hold that W. We're going to hold this 3 crown, and we're going to catch y'all in the next one. I think our next match here against this player, they have a top 1,000 tournament finish, so they're probably decent. Decks like these are so good, dude. I feel like Hypno CR decks and quick cycle decks are just like low-key abusing the game mechanics. You've seen my shorts on it. It's so good. And the degree of difficulty to defend these decks, I just feel like is way too high. Okay, I don't think he'll pop the ability. It would be pretty bad if he did. So I'm a little below my, I don't want to say my skill ceiling, but I'm usually an ultimate champion by this point in the league. But unfortunately, we are not. Full transparency, I actually went on a family vacation. So I went 5 days without playing Clash Royale, and honestly, it was kind of nice. So we should push up to Ultimate Champion maybe by the end of the video or pretty close. He just spent so much Elixir there that I'm fine being aggressive here. Yeah, he was super aggressive on offense, so I don't want to eat these wall breakers, so I'm going to go Ice Spirit here. And should even out a lot of the damage. I'm also going to pressure with the Fire Spirit when I'm low. All of these cheap pressure cards, I want to force out more than 1 Elixir, or I get tons of damage. So you can see that was a +2 Elixir trade for us, which is awesome. I want to bush early, because if I bush later, he'll probably just go Recruits on it, as to where if I do it now, if he does go Recruits, I'll have no Elixir to support it, or he'll probably go for something else, which is nice. Yeah, so again, another positive Elixir trade for us. And we're always trying to defend with troops to give us like a nice counter push. At least that's the idea. Alright, let's go Wall Breakers here. Maybe force out a small spell. I would love that because then I get value on defense. Yeah. See, because when we get the arrows out, first of all, we still got a wall breaker connection, and he dropped the Mighty Miner, and now we can't do anything about the Dark Goblin. Okay, nice. Interesting play. Yeah, that's not bad. I'm going to apply pressure, actually, because I can just kite this back with wall breakers. Yeah, he had a similar idea, actually. Really good kite by him. Let's pull this back. Nice. So now he still has to spend. So not the end of the world there. I'm going to let that go because we have King Tower activation, and it's going to clean everything up. And you can see how we're able to just, like, completely dance around him, dude. I think he just gave up. Is that another person who just gave up? That's 2 games in a row of people just giving up, dude. This deck is so... It's just so frustrating to play against when you do it well. I truly feel like there are some matchups that are just unwinnable against this deck. So another really satisfying win for us. Looks like my opponent threw in the towel. So we're going to hold it, and we're going to keep on grinding. I'll see you in the next match. All right, in our next match here, and I mean, if those 2 games don't show the power of these decks, I don't know what does. I mean, back-to-back games where we just cooked, like absolutely cooked. Okay, I had an awkward hand-ish there, so that was a pretty decent defense. All right, we're going to be up here against probably bait, Mega Knight bait, or log bait. Oh, it could be mortar, actually. I changed my mind. I think it's mortar. All right, let's go ahead and split wall breakers here. Maybe we can force out the mortar on defense. That'd be good for us. Okay, not the deck that I thought it was by any means. I'm going to do this. And I'm going to get back to a Dark Goblin here because I want to get to my Evo Dark Goblin as quickly as possible. Spear Goblins will also keep the Prince from charging onto my Boss Bandit, and then Ice Spirit as well. I think that Prince was kind of an overcommitment in my opinion. Because the Boss Bandit is so tanky, and he raged. I actually think he might just like lose right here, unless he has arrows. Ooh, and that Fireball does not stop the Boss Bandit. Let's do this in case he tries to go bats. Yeah. He didn't lose, but he lost a significant amount of his tower. So good stuff, and we have our Evo Dark Goblin for his next big push. So don't be scared when you're using this deck to cycle your Dark Goblin kind of liberally. Like, you really need your Evo to help stop some of those big beefy pushes. Like, I'm not worried at all for his next push just because of the Evo Dark Goblin. I'm going to go bush opposite lane. Yeah, I wonder if he's going to try and build up a big push here. He might just go in at the bridge. Yeah, he does. Not surprised, honestly. All right, this will stop the charge. And that Goblin Curse positioning was pretty bad. Yeah, and he ignored that entire suspicious bush. I'm going to go Fire Spirit here to help tank for this. And then I can go Wall Breakers on the opposite lane. And my man is chopped, in a sense. All right, we're going to let that go and then go Ice Spirit. We got a ton of damage on one side and the other. But that's the problem is you don't want to split up your damage this much. I would have liked to have a tower down by now, but it's okay. The good news is we can continue to press opposite lane. I do need to be careful for his next push, but at least it's not an Evo Goblin Giant, so I'm okay. At least we can force out Elixir in the opposite lane. That's huge. Whenever you're in this position, you always want to go in the opposite lane. See, because we forced out 4 Elixir there that he probably wouldn't have spent. Nice, and now instead of going in for the Goblin Giant, he just goes in for the Fireball. He's probably going to Rage here, so I'm going to have my Wall Breakers ready. Yeah, exactly. Wasn't a Rage, but similar. Almost got a Wall Breaker connection as well. The Goblin Curse. I got to be very mindful of my defense because of that Goblin Curse. I'm going to pressure with this because if he goes for a kite, he's going to end up eating the Wall Breakers. Nice. Nice. He had to go for the Fireball there. That's huge. And he needs to spend on the bush opposite lane. Nice. Nope, he lets it go, which means he's probably going to go in here or go in on the opposite lane. And yeah, my man is chopped here. Let's go like this to blow up on the bats. Ice Spirit as well. And once our goblins go down, we go for a log here. So pretty easy match. I mean, my opponent was using like a brain dead deck. So it's not hard to beat decks like this with our deck. It's just a beatdown killer. So again, 3 games, 3 easy wins. We'll see you in the next one. All right, in our next match here, I feel like we've been absolutely cooking with this deck. I mean, 3 games, 3 relatively easy wins. So we're going to see if we can keep on rolling here. Let's go ahead and get this suspicious bush down. And just kind of feel out our opponent. You can almost start with like literally any card other than a Boss Bandit, I would say. It's like the only card that you can't start with. Alright, Suspicious Bush did a pretty decent job there. Kind of looks like Graveyard if I was a gambling man. He doesn't have a Spear Goblin Hut, so let's go in with Wall Breakers. This can be tough because they usually run the Evo Witch. But we'll be okay. Saving our Fire Spirit, saving our Log. Yeah, definitely looks like a Graveyard deck. Just from the cards that he's played, it just kind of like gives off that vibe. Alrighty. While he's busy on that bush, let's pressure opposite lane. Because look, he's trying to defend the bush. And yeah, too late on the Dark Goblin defense. That always gets him, dude. Split lane pressure is so great. I want to defend the Knight with my Wall Breakers, so I'm going to pressure. Ooh, okay, let's go ahead and wait. Log go, log go, log go. No, 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 dude. I was trying to get my log down that. What was that defense? I was trying to get log down that whole time. I shouldn't have played Boss Bandit. It was much too expensive. Yeah. My downfall there was playing Boss Bandit on defense. 100%. 100% that was not the play. Alright, we should get some good damage here, though. Yeah, it still just could have been so much better. If I would have defended the graveyard with not a Boss Bandit, we would have been in a much better position, so... Yeah, they can't believe it. I can't believe it either. Alright, should be winnable, though. Should be very winnable. I'm not too worried about it. Defending graveyards isn't as bad as you'd think. You just kind of spread out your troops from the poison, and you'll be okay. Alright, let's go ahead and get this bush down here. Okay, that's interesting. Not bad, just interesting. Nice. Yeah, pretty bad play from my opponent. One, because I was in the opposite lane, and two, it was just, like, not a very good push. I'm actually going to pressure this lane as well. I want him to, like, ignore my bush, because I think a sneaky bush could get a lot of damage here. Yeah, see, because now he ignored the bush, and my bush is probably going to take his whole tower. I mean, it did take his whole tower, not even I think. Alright, spread everything out here, and we can go for, like, a late log if we need it. I'm going to log now, actually, and then go Fire Spirit. And now, even if he takes my tower, it really doesn't matter because we're in a really good position. So they said, wow, they definitely couldn't believe it either. Oh, that's going to connect. Oh, my man. My man is just barely messing up his micro interactions. I feel bad, low-key. You can see the Desperation Graveyard at the bridge. He can't do anything about the Dark Goblin because he used all his Elixir on the graveyard. So, just like... He could have played that better. Even so, it's a really good matchup for us, but he also played it very poorly. They played it really poorly. So, GG's Mishi. We'll see you in the next one. Alright, next match here. I don't think I'll ever get tired of playing this deck. I might even play 7 games. I usually play between 6 and 7, depending on the deck, but with this one, I'm happy to play an extra game for y'all. Alright, let's go ahead and go Bush. Monk is not my favorite card, but it's good to know before I used my Dark Goblin that he has Monk. Spear Goblin's behind this because he used his log. And, nice, we're going to get some Spear Goblin chip. Okay, it's definitely going to be Royal Giant here. Super annoying deck, but like I said, now that we know that that's what he's running, it's not the end of the world. You just need to play around the Monk with our Dark Goblin, and we'll be in a really good spot. So no Fisherman in hand. I'm curious how he defends this. Hunter, probably? Yeah, this is going to be awkward, low-key. No, it's not that awkward. Never mind. It's not that awkward at all for my boy. Alright, let's go Dark Goblin here. This is fine. I want to get to my Evo. He might go Monk and then try and go for the RG. I really like that Fire Spirit because it's going to make sure that my Dark Goblin was supposed to make sure that it takes care of that. Alright, let's go Bush here. And I don't really have to worry about this Fisherman. Alright, I want to get to my Evo Dark Goblin without compromising, you know, making myself vulnerable here. Okay, let's get this down. And I'm going to have to pull this Monk over to the right and then go Dark Goblin on the RG, okay? I don't think he's going to go in, actually. Let's pull this all back, actually. Because the Monk is, like, reflecting everything. Nice, that's great. That's great. He's in a really tough position right now. Let's go like this here. Yes, yes. Great pressure. He goes for the log, but this is going to do so much damage. There we go, dude. Boss Bandit does so much damage. I know, dude. I valid use of the CRL emote. I like super agree with my opponent. This card is so ridiculous sometimes. Alright, we're gonna chill here. I still have yet to get to my Evo Dark Goblin, so I might just cycle it now and just get back to another one. Yeah, if we can force out the Monk ability early, I wouldn't mind that. So let's try and do that. Like, if he uses the Monk ability now, like, I don't care. We can get back to another Dark Goblin here. Alright, this is exactly what I was talking about, right? So we got the Monk ability down, we got our Evo Dark Goblin, and this push is dead, which is nice. Interesting Fireball. It kind of just felt like a Desperation Fireball. I know he hit the Dark Goblin with it, but I don't know if that was, like, necessary. Alright, let's go like this here. You can log, but it won't take care of everything. Yep. Nice. He has to go for the E-Spirit as well. Okay. I'm going to apply a little bit of pressure opposite lane. I don't want to continue to be pigeonholed in the same lane if I can help it, but I might not have a choice. Okay, this is going to be tough. I need to block for the Fisherman if I can, so I'm going to go like this to try and block for it. That didn't work, did it? Okay, that's fine. Let's go like this. Dark Goblin's going to do okay, and Cannoneer does, like, decent. Yeah, decent. Again, I need to continue to pressure opposite lane, otherwise he's just going to edge me out in the same lane. So we're going to keep applying cheap pressure here, getting the logs out of hand. And we do have our Evo Dark Goblin, so we're in a really good spot at least. Nice. Okay, let's go Boss Bandit here. Nice. Oh, we get the Fisherman out of hand. That's the type of thing that I'm talking about. Alright, we're going to get this dash and immediately pop the ability. And then we're going to get this Ice Spirit off. And then this is perfect. Ooh, good log actually by him. That was a really smart pre-log. But now we can do this, and he can't stop this because he doesn't have his log in cycle. At least he can't stop it entirely. Stops it significantly, though. I need to be careful here. He's probably going to log this. Once he logs it, we can go for the Evo Wall Breakers. Okay, let's do that now. You kind of have to spam here because of his... he has a big spell and we don't. Nice, that's great damage. It's great damage, actually. Okay, let's continue to spam here. That's fine. We get the monk out. That's nice. Nice. Really good stuff by us. And GG's, dude. Let's go. We almost threw it away at the end, but good opposite lane pressure there. Good job playing around the monk for the most part. Not the easiest matchup, but very winnable. Unfortunate for my man. We'll see you in the next one. Next game! A few games off Ultimate Champion. I don't know if we'll hit it in this video, but... for sure in the next video, we'll probably push up into Ultimate Champion, but I know a lot of you aren't there yet, so it's kind of nice sometimes seeing competition at maybe a level below you, or, you know, these are probably like similar decks that you're playing against, and Recruits is not ideal for your boy. I'm going to keep it a buck. It is not good for me. Boss Bandit's going to tank for everything, but yeah. His Cannoneer does pretty poorly against Recruits. I meant to have that tank. Dang. Alright, so we take more damage that I would have liked. I know I got damage, but it's not worth it. I would have rather played good defense. Him having arrows for the Dark Goblin is tough, because that's like our main way of DPSing down the Recruits. So if he just saves arrows for the Dark Goblin, it's really tough for me. So I'm going to have to leverage my 3-card cycle, get that Boss Bandit down, and try and get multiple Dark Goblins down. So easier said than done, but I think I can do it if he makes some mistakes. So we'll see. I'm going to get this down early to try and get back to another one soon. Yeah, he has Fireball and arrows, so just all in all, just not a great deck composition for me. Yikes. Okay, let's do this. Apply a little bit of pressure. And I'm going to go for a bush at the bridge. Interesting. Okay, let's get the Boss Bandit down. I'm hoping he won't be able to afford Recruits because he wants to defend the bush. And, yeah, okay, he's not going to be able to afford Recruits right away. So I'm going to do this here. And we're going to go Ice Spirit as well to go ahead and keep this healthy. And now because he spent so much, it's like awkward for him to stop this. So that actually worked out really, really well for us because of how expensive things are. He just dropped those Recruits, but he doesn't really have that much Elixir to support it. See, that's why I'm like, sometimes if they play bad, you can win. Because that was brainless, right? He should have arrows a long time ago instead of placing a card down that he couldn't support. So that's one thing he could have done better. So now I just need to lock in and defend for the rest of the game. Easier said than done. Easier said than done, but it's very doable. Dark Goblin carried that defense. Let's get one down early. Yeah, this is going to be tough. Like, I have no big spell for that. Yeah. All right. We'll see what we can do. The good news is this won't cross the bridge, but like that Skeleton King is going to be tough. This is all going to be tough. We're going to do our best, though. Let's get one Dark Goblin down and try and cycle down back to another one here, and hopefully he plays an arrows on it. Okay, that's fine, because now we can go Evo Dark Goblin here, and I'm going to have to save my log for the right side, I think. Yeah, exactly. Okay, we're okay, because the Evo Witch is poisoned. Nice, nice. That defense was, like, pretty decent, given the circumstances. Nice, nice. He doesn't really have time to make anything happen here, because he doesn't have a real win condition. He's not running hogs or anything, so... we're good here. Let's go. Spear Goblin, surround, and then we can kite this away with Wall Breakers. And that is a lot harder than it looks. That's probably the hardest matchup we've had all game, but outplay potential is there. Great win. We'll see you in the next one. I didn't like their last match of the video. I like this deck, and we've had really good outplays like that last one, but we're right about the video maximum, I would say. So let's go ahead and split Wall Breakers here. Not the best start, but that's okay. They're going to get one little Spear Goblin shot. And a normal Goblin shot as well. Kind of looks like Mega Knight. Whenever you see Goblin Gang and Zap, a lot of times it's Mega Knight. Not always, but oftentimes. We're going to let this get one shot, and I think he might just pop a Mega Knight on this. I'm going to support it with the Fire Spirit. That's like a really good combo, because it like counters their swarms a lot. Yeah, okay, we forced out a lot of elixir. This is dead, though, just because of the witch. So we're fine. At least I shouldn't have to spend too much here. Let's go ahead and delay the log a little bit. Yeah, we're fine. Ice Spirit for the witch, and we're chilling. Okay. Kind of looks like one of those mid-ladder menace decks, like Giant Beatdown or Mega Knight or something. Maybe like a homemade deck. Let's go low Spear Goblins, and once his Spear Goblins lock, at least one of them, we can go Fire Spirit. I messed up that micro placement. My fault. It's not the end of the world. He's already gotten more damage in the opposite lane, so I don't really care. I do care about this, though, so let's go ahead and go Ice Spirit to pull this in. And then once that jumps, we can go Wall Breakers to continue to pull it over. Pretty solid defense there. I'm pretty happy with that. That was just a really aggressive Prince, and you can see he does not have the wherewithal to be able to defend that all, which is great. Alright, he's going to probably play something. I'll cycle my Dark Goblin to get to my evolved one. Let's see what he does. Nice, that's fine with me. Because, oh, never mind. This Boss Bandit will cancel out the Dark Prince charge. Let's do it, let's do it. Bang. Okay, I know he has Gang, so if I go Fire Spirit behind, this actually could mess him up big time. Let's go ahead and do it. Oh, Fire Spirit went in front. Nope. Yep. Oh, and that Evil Witch is gonna die because he messed it up. Oh, that's gonna do so much damage, dude. Let's go. Nice. That was huge. He's probably gonna eat this as well. Nice. Now he goes for the zap. That's fine. We're still in a really good spot. I'm gonna Spear Goblins immediately because he doesn't have a small spell. It'll bait out the Prince probably. Yes, huge. And now this Prince is just dead. This whole push is pretty much just dead. Yep. Oh, oops. Forgot about that. Forgot about the arrows. I thought he didn't have them in cycle, but I was thinking of the zap. Oh, he can't really stop this without arrows. He can zap, but that's it. Yep, tower down. Cool. What is his win condition? Giant double Prince, but oh, Mega Knight double Prince. Of course, of course. Mega Knight double Prince. What? How could I forget? My bad, my bad. Sorry, sir. How could I forget your deck archetype? Thank you for the log value. And yeah, don't lose to these mid-ladder menaces, man. You're better than that. You run decks like this so you can outplay these absolute menace of players. So GG's to that guy. Our deck is just a little better, one tier above. So great video to end on. I'll catch y'all in the outro. And that's going to do it for today's video. Here's the deck one more time. In case you want to try it out for yourself, which you should. It's so insane. I actually pushed up to Ultimate Champion a little after recording, and I'm like top 2 or 3K in the world. Yeah, like 3,000. This deck is so good. It's so strong. You have to give it a try. At the very least, it'll make you better at the game. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in another video real soon. Peace out.